Hi everyone, this is Anjali. Radhe Radhe. So today I'm going to start my video session as my audio I'm facing difficulty in uploading on the YouTube and my Instagram profile. So this is my first trial for the video version. Let's see. So we are on chapter 2 basically, and today we are going to do the shlokas number 2.14 to 2.18, and in this we will learn about the Sat and Asat. Okay. So in 2.14, Krishna said that, "Hey Arjuna, the non-permanent appearance of the happiness and the distress and their disappearance in the due course, okay, are like appearance and disappearance of the winter and the summer season. So they arise from the senses of the perception. Okay, they arise from the senses of a perception, and one must learn how to tolerate them without being disturbed, because this is the nature. Okay, so in 2.15 he said, hey Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by the happiness and the distress, okay, the person who is not disturbed by the happiness and the distress is steady in both. Okay, is steady in both, is certainly eligible for the enlightenment. Okay, ready for the liberation, sorry, not enlightenment, for the liberation, okay, which is called moksha. So like choosing the happiness in the material, this material world, okay, choosing the happiness in this materialistic world is like choosing a poison over amrit. Okay, this is what he said in this shloka. So after the sad, like for example, after the sadness happiness comes, will come, or vice versa. Okay, so the person need to learn both time with the means, I will say it again, the person need to learn both time, okay, the good time and the bad time, with respect and patience. Like, you know, it's a cycle. Okay, so we need to grow the seed of hope inside us during the bad time. Okay, because when the bad time is like a cycle. Okay, when the bad time end, so happy time start. Okay, so like that. So difficult path create and show the good opportunities. Like, you, if you have seen that whenever you face a very high level of a challenge in your life, and that challenge will bring so many changes in you, will give you good experience, new knowledge, new learning, and make you one step furthermore. Okay, so that's why. So now in the shloka number 2.16 to 2.16, we are going to discuss about the Atmanitya and Anitya. Okay, so means the Sat and Asat. So those who are in 2.16, it's they say, those who are the seer of the truth have concluded that of that non-existent. Okay, here non-existence, they are referring to the material body, the human body, and there is no endurance, a Sat. Okay, I will explain you more. And of the eternal body, means our soul, which is Sat. Okay, there is no change in that. So this they have concluded by studying the both side of the both nature of the body elements. Okay, so in 2.17 they said, know it to be known it to be indestructible, and by which all this body is pervaded. Okay, means like spread it through and be perceived in every part of the body, entire body. So nothing can destroy it. We are talking about the soul here. Nothing can destroy it, and it's nothing can destroy it, and the imperishable. Okay, so the body of the material energy are perishable. The bodies of the material energies are perishable, and the energy itself, the energy which make it run, okay, the energy itself is eternal, which is incomprehensible and indestructible. Therefore Krishna said, Arjuna, stand up and fight, because the people who is standing in front of you as a form of relatives, teachers, and all, they are just a human body which is going to die one day, and ending of the body doesn't mean the ending of the person, because the soul is everything, and it will carry on their journey to another life. Okay, so the person, you are thinking you're killing the person, your guru is there, everything? No, but they are going to meet you in future soon. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, so now I try to explain all these four, five shlokas. So Krishna say here basically that the sensory experience, like the touch, okay, all these experiences are temporary. All are temporary. For example, the feeling of a hot and cold, sweet and sour, and wet and dry, and the pain and the pleasure, sukh and dukh, and like likes and dislike, are all are the temporary means of the anitya. Temporary means anitya. Okay, so those experiences do not affect the centered person who is qualified to be enlightened. So if I want to explain you in more further way, okay, you know the yogis, okay, so saints. So basically through the meditation and to the self-realization of the truth, okay, they reach to a certain level, they reach a certain level where these things doesn't affect them. For example, if you have seen or heard, maybe read somewhere that so many yogis go to the Himalayas for doing their meditation, and even still they are there. Okay, so soon they're going to come down, but they are there is minus temperature there. Okay, it's difficult to survive, and they don't wear any clothes on it. Okay, just one dhoti, and even normal person cannot survive in such temperature. But how they can do this thing, where normal people need to wear so many layers and they cannot stand for more than 5 minutes? So how they survive the whole time without wearing clothes? Because their body is in the form of completion. Okay, the completion means when we accept the truth, the reality. Okay, I will explain you more further in this one. So let's see what how he want to explain us. So the all these sensory experiences are basically anitya, okay, impermanent or unreal. Okay, so for example, like as you see, if you move around your eyes around the world, okay, what do you see? You're seeing that water flood everywhere is coming. Okay, but the person who is not affected by it, the person who is not having in their area is not affected by it. Okay, so the person who is experience means is just like a maya. Okay, so even the people who suffered, okay, so what they told about their experiences, that everything got changed within a second. Okay, like a cloud burst happened in the few places. So what they said, that all things happened so suddenly that everything around them got changed completely, got damaged, destroyed. Okay, why this happened? Because everything around us is created by the Krishna, which is, and Krishna said all thing around us is Maya. Okay, and he can change like in seconds everything. Okay, so this is what like he's trying to explain about the things. So Harvard Medical School basically conducted such studies when the nature is accepted, what is happening in the front of us, the nature is accepted totally. Okay, in all the forms, like we understand it's heat and cold, and so then we don't realize actually that thing. Okay, so like heat, cold, rain, dryness, and all these changes do not affect the body mind system. Okay, so for example, a person who live in the normal area where there is not much cold but still sorry, some people do layering and some people don't do layering. Okay, so when I talk to these kind of people before, so I learned that the person who is not doing layering, okay, so he said I don't think that it's so much cold, because there's a thinking, that person thinking that he's not thinking that there's so much cold. On the other hand, another person is doing layering. So I asked that person, why you're wearing so much layer? So that person said that because I'm feeling cold, I'm thinking it's too cold, or it's a winter. Okay, so it is like a perception, each person has a different perception. Okay, so but at the same place, same as time, but people is reacting differently. So that's what I'm trying to explain you, the sensory experience. Okay, if the person is totally centered, enlightened, that person doesn't face any changes in like hot and cold, dry and wet, and means he's not get affected by all these things. That's what I want to say to you here. So one who is firmly grounded in himself, okay, the one who is, same thing as what I'm telling you, the one who is firmly grounded in himself, okay, grounded in, is grounded in the nature basically. Okay, that person basically accepted the nature. Okay, so you will find this kind of people very rarely, not so easily. So such person is ready for the enlightenment. Okay, such person brought their senses under control. Such person brought their senses under control, and as a result their mind are too under control. Okay, there's a lot of things coming to my mind, sorry, which I want to tell you right now. So it is accepted by the medical science that the body mind body now we are talking about furthermore in this one. So it is accepted by the medical science that the body and the mind dies many death, okay, before its final exit. So for example, the cell within our body die in thousands, okay, in thousands every day, and get reborn. Okay, as you also you know these things very well already. So over a period of time, or like for example few years, like 1 or 2 year, every single year, every single cell in our body, okay, in our body mind system is replaced and renewed. So for example, what you were 2 years before, okay, what you were 2 years before, to like 2 years ago, and it is not what you are today. So you can also see yourself these kind of changes when you see your pictures or like that. Okay, so the body and mind continuously cease to exist, okay, and get recreated. Like for example, so many people have seen like some people in the school days are not good in study, but in the later on the life they achieve really good knowledge, and their mind got fixed and their capabilities got increased, and they reach the higher level of the any kind of a work profile. So that's why it happened, because our body is continuously recreating and reborning. So it is not a it is not a permanent, it is non-permanent. Okay, so nothing these are not permanent. Okay, and separate from the body mind system is our spirit that lives on eternally. Okay, that lives on eternally. Okay, so the spirit, okay, the spirit remain the same throughout our life. Okay, the spirit remains same throughout our life with no changes. Okay, and despite all the changes in the body and mind system, okay, it continue to be exist even after our death. Did you get me what I said? So the spirit remains the same throughout our life with no changes. Okay, with no changes, and despite all the changes कहाँ हो रहे हैं, in the body mind system. Okay, it continue to be exist. Okay, so even after years, even after death. So when the spirit of sorry, not when the spirit doesn't die with the body, okay, the spirit doesn't die with the body, it lives on. It is the permanent and the true, which is called Sat. So when one understands this difference between what is eternal, which is Nitya, okay, and what is Anitya, okay, so one becomes the seer and the knower of the truth. Okay, so like these kind of a people who can see the truth, who understand the things very deeply, okay, they never went into the way of the materialization in the Maya. Okay, they try to stay away. So these kind of people you may see around yourself. Okay, so Maya and Anitya are real, okay, and perceived by our senses. Okay, are perceived by our senses, but they refer to the things that are not true, means वो है भी सही और नहीं भी है, okay, but they are not true, so that are not lasting, okay, that are not lasting. So example, money, any luxury, that doesn't stay every time, it get changes, right? So they are factually real but truthfully unreal, because it's a maya. So maya, Krishna can do like magic and remove, okay. So our perception through our perception through our senses may be real but not necessarily be true. जरूरी नहीं है कि वो सच हो, okay. इसके लिए for I will give you an example of the dream, okay. So like a dream is very real, okay, dream is very real when it happened, but when it happened, okay. So in your dream you may get angry, you may get frightened, you may get excited, you may get lustful when you dream, okay. So many things will happen. So your body responds to these emotions and your senses react to what you observe in the dream, okay. That is, you are facing like you're feeling everything like it's true happening, right? So, but the dream is not true, okay, though it seemed real, but it is not true. So even when you think like you are fully awake, like I'm sitting right now, okay, so what you perceive through your senses, like if I touch any hot and cold, okay, so what you perceive through your senses may not be what you interpret it to mean. कि जरूरी नहीं है कि जो तुम देख रहे हो उसको टच कर रहे हो तो you will get the same thing, okay, what you need to be. So your mind always filter through its own lens, okay, so of the root pattern or like ego. So like if you know like same picture, if you show to the two people, they will give you the different explanation, okay, because their thinking pattern, the root pattern is different, that's why. So your mind always filter through its own lens of the root pattern or the ego. So you judge whatever you perceive, okay, through your conditioned memories, and then selectivity put together all the pieces of what you perceive to support your judgment. Like everybody is having a different kind of experience, okay. So they basically take decisions on the basis of their experiences, okay. So like you know, everybody is you say all people are different. Why? Because of their thinking is different, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So the in this why we are thinking about this, you will learn it soon. So the innermost, okay, the innermost perception has to change, okay, the innermost perception has to change. So you need to realize that it is not the outside scene but the innermost perception, the innermost perception you carry for the outside scene, okay, which is impacting you and giving you the experience of your reality, okay. It is not the outside scene, it is your perceptions, your root pattern, which is trying to give you the data and your experiences. So the why Arjuna, so I will explain, you will get it now, okay. So if there is, for example, fire burning, okay, and you sit at a distance and you go on gazing at the fire, okay, you will feel the heat in your body because you are watching the heat, okay, fire. So if you turn your eyes away, okay, if you turn your eyes away while maintaining the same distance, you will not see the burning experience, like the fire, heat, okay. So no more experience the burning in your body. So how this is happening? How? Because what you see, according to that, you make a perception in your mind that you're feeling the heat, so that's why you're experiencing that, okay. So So basically Krishna is trying to explain Arjuna in this case. Sorry. Understand. So a pattern is, the pattern is any action that is unfulfilled as per your fantasy. Okay, so a pattern is any action that is unfulfilled as per your fantasy, either because of your the outside hindrance or inside hindrance. Okay, so that is a state of incompletion. Okay, so when your wishes are not fulfilled, anything is not happening due to any of the reason, so basically that is called in the state of incompletion. So the way your pattern react and respond to the fact is the perception. Okay, the way your pattern reacts and respond, okay, is the perception. So perception is nothing but a processed fact which we think here. So there are 3 levels of basically perceptions. Okay, so you must have heard about this maybe. So like no pattern, no perception means there is no pattern of thinking. Some people don't think, they just do the things. Okay, so what Krishna said, that is a worst condition. The Krishna said that is a very worst way. Okay, that's not good for the person. So the person on the other hand have some the pattern with perception, that's okay, Krishna said. Okay, when you have some pattern with perception, with some facts in your mind, and you have some pattern, it means you're still in the good way, you're still good position. But the perception, you have the fact but no pattern, okay, that is the best. Okay, let me explain you more. So 21 minutes away. Okay, so for example, the Kaurav has an army of 11 lakh people, okay, soldiers. So the 11 lakh army of the Kaurava signify this dull unconsciousness of the space of no pattern, no perception, because for them having the quantity will make them win. Okay, they don't have any further plan rather than a quantity. So that's why. Okay, it's like there's no pattern and there is no perception, no facts. Okay, that is why they lived in a Krishna said that's why they lived in the stupid materialism. For them everything is like the their rights to live in that property rights and all these things. So they lived in a stupid materialism with their life philosophy. Okay, that is Duryodhana is never attacked by any pattern. Okay, that is why Duryodhana is never attacked by any pattern or dilemma that overpower Arjuna. So like Arjun, when Arjun see all these things, so he see the facts. Okay, what he see the families, relatives, but on the other hand, but he's not thinking like that way. So that is the difference. Okay, no perception, no pattern, like doing without thinking. Okay, so the second example is on the second type of the perception pattern, which is called the pattern with the perception. There's a thinking pattern with a fact. Okay, so which is Krishna said okay. So Arjuna see the vast Kaurav army in his whole body and being shiver and with a fear pattern. Okay, so he see the facts and that make him shiver, make him give the fear. Okay, and his pattern don't let him see the army as an army and don't want to fight as a warrior. Okay, so he see relatives, friends, teachers, and want to escape the war, and he want to shrink from the life. Okay, he trying to run away from this handling this situation. So this is called pattern with perception. That's okay, means you are behaving like a normal human person, like you have some facts, you have some perceptions, and then you are trying to solve the issue. Okay, on the other hand, where Krishna says the perception with a no pattern, okay, perception but no pattern is the best. How? Because 4:10. Okay, so here the Arjuna have Lord of all happiness. Oh, sorry. Arjuna have the Lord of all perceptions, the one complete consciousness, that is our Sri Krishna himself. Okay, because he is the one who created everything. So his very existence is the pure space of the perception. Okay, because he is a destroyer of all the patterns. Okay, and who enriched the Arjuna in destroying and completing with the army of a root pattern by transforming Arjuna on perception. So what Krishna is trying to do, Krishna is trying to solve is his perceptions. Okay, 25 minutes already done. Okay, so in this one, so basically Krishna said, do you know which philosophy book is really good on the earth? That is the Kapila Sankhya. Okay, Kapila Sankhya. Because in that there is no pattern. Okay, this Kapila is established in the completion and the space of a pure reception. No patterns are involved in the processing of the information through the senses. Okay, only based on the perceptions, on the facts. So I'm here to give you one new perception. Perception can reach completion, okay, when you bring completion into the perception. Means when you see the facts, okay, and the moment of a perception can literally bring the enlightenment. You know, some people totally based on the facts. Okay, so we are talking about that. So when you bring the completion, when you accept the truth, okay, into the fact कि ये truth है और उसके सामने ये facts हैं, the moment of the perception can literally bring enlightenment. That person can reach the enlightenment basically. Okay, so we are for example one saint went to the what do you call it, cremation ground, okay, in Varanasi. Okay, and what he see, so when we were watching the dead bodies burning in the front of us for some hours, some people just sleeping, okay, sleeping, and some were let me read it again. So he said that when he reached the cremation ground in Varanasi with a group of disciples, okay, when we were watching the dead bodies burning in front of us for some hours, some people were just sleeping, okay, and some were affected. Okay, you know, some people is like very lazy, and some people have got affected because they lose someone, and some were feeling nauseated because of such scene, and some were not at all affected by the same senses of the body burning part by part in front of the eyes. Okay, so what is the difference here basically? So it is just a processing of the information with a pattern. Okay, everybody's thinking is different, how they're conceiving the data, how they are reacting, what is their root pattern. So that is he want to show us. So like every person has a different thinking. Okay, so reason why the masters or why the saints have always urged their disciples to wake up. Okay, the wake up not from the sleeping he's talking about. So he's saying, but wake up to into the completion. Okay, means it is to wake up, it's call from saint to the disciple to emerge from नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट रियलिटी जो हमारे आसपास हैं उसको छोड़ के, उसको मीन्स एक्सेप्ट करो ट्रूथ को, और कि ये सब चीज़ें जो है एक दिन चली जाएंगी. एक्सेप्ट द रियलिटी ऑफ द प्रोसेस फैक्ट एंड द पैटर्न और द पैटर्न इनटू द ट्रू एग्जिस्टेंट एंड ट्रूथ ऑफ सेल्फ एक्सपीरियंस. And this is really, I tried myself and I really see the things means when you experience these things, then you will understand it more. So for such kind of experience which is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, don't forget to do the mala, okay, because that will help you in creating a good connection with the God, and then you will experience such a things which you have never seen before in your life, and your life will get changed. Okay, so So he's talking about the perception. Okay, so integrity, when a person bring integrity in your thinking. Okay, integrity means like responsibility in your thinking. Your eyes, your senses will not forget the reality even at the moment, and you will cognize hurt, so heat and cold and pain and the pleasure. So you will understand it furthermore. So only the truth and the only the true reality is the truth of this very moment. Okay, I'm just telling the key points only. So we have like a pure perception without, we have pure perception without any pattern. Only then we are truly complete and integrated. How? I will explain you. So the present moment is a sat. Okay, and the truth is everything else, as sat, and everything else is asat, untruth. Okay, so when you accept the reality, when you accept the truth, okay, so here he is telling about the present moment. Sorry. So the process where we perceive or receive information through five senses, internalize it with our root thought pattern, okay, and respond based on our pattern is a cognition. Okay, so now it is proven that it is our root thought pattern that lead to our cognition and thereafter determine our genetics. So, becoming aware of this subtle spirit and the soul is just what is self-realization is all about. Okay, and this the body-mind system which we talk about. So the body is the body-mind system. Okay, so in this verse, Krishna say first spirit pervade the body. Okay, so avinasi tu tatha vidhi venaha sarvam idham tatam. So he said that the body is a body mind system. Okay, and secondly he stated that the body and the mind are destroyed at the death. 4 points he going to explain this one. Third, he declared that the spirit does not die at the death. I'm just revising. Okay, and the fourth he explained the spirit is beyond, the spirit is our beyond the mental comprehension. Okay, so for example, like when death happens, okay, the bodily functions stop and the senses which are function of the mind stop working. The entire body mind system is left by itself and it degenerate, right? After the death it starts degenerating. This part is very clear to all of us who have seen the death. What is unclear and unknown to us is that there is something within us that do not perish at the death. What is that? It's the soul. Okay, the Krishna clarified here that this is the self, atma, self. Okay, the atma, the energy that never dies, because when one body dies, because body come with expiry date, and the atma travel to another body. So like the body has a shelf life. Okay, it come with expiry date. Okay, and beyond this expiry date there is something that is lives on, that is the spirit, and the spirit is the energy, and it is the energy of the life. Okay, so Krishna said, hey Arjuna, fight. Okay, and with all the full understanding that what he think is the real, all the relatives, all the people is the real, is unreal, and what he think as a permanent, okay, like the body will never die. So that's what he think as a permanent, the nitya is impermanent, the body is impermanent. Okay, and anitya, and which he think he is about to destroy, can in truth never be destroyed. Means even if you try, then you cannot destroy the spirit. So Krishna tell him to open his eyes and see the pure patternless perception, that what he's about to do will only destroy which is going to perish anyway, which is the body. Okay, even if he want to destroy, even if he want, Arjuna cannot destroy the soul. Okay, so the Arjuna concerns about the death of his kinsman and the elders out of his root pattern of the fear and the insecurity. Okay, these factors the extension of his fear, his effort of others death, okay, and especially means all this fear, okay, which came out of having the wrong perception. So Krishna is trying to fix that. So Krishna tell him that there is no such thing death, and that death is unreal, okay. So the body is just a shell, the house of your spirit. And even when the body perish, you do not. Okay. So even sometimes, like, some people think that when body dies and their soul when enter the new body, they forget, you don't remember your last life. Okay. But it is not like that actually. Through when you reach the state of incompletion, when you do meditation, when you activate your chakras, okay, you can go through in the past also, the past life, and through the past regression. So that is in the sleeping mode, but it is not eliminated from your soul even when you go to the another life. Okay. So had non-permanent, so he said that what dies or seems to perish is unreal, and it had no non-permanent existence anyway. So what does have existence, what is truly real, exists now, has always existed, will exist forever. वो हमेशा थी, हमेशा रहेगी. Okay. So what exists as reality is perceived by you without the interference and the provisions created by your all powerless patrons. Okay. The completion will lead you to the experience that is the reality, the truth. Okay, here this ends here, the meaning of 4 shlokas. So you must be thinking why and how this can help you. Okay, the reality. So basically, why God said to read this Bhagavad Gita is compulsory to survive for the 2022 to 2032. There's a reason behind it, because from it's already 2025. Okay, so in your life, with the increase of time, you will be in a same situation where Arjuna is standing right now. So, and you will able to see things in clear version if you know the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, then you will be able to take the right decision, and the decision which you're going to take in your future life is really affecting you, means giving you the right and wrong direction, that kind. So it is very important to understand this concept, just not for reading Bhagavad Gita. So you need to implement all these things, you need to try to learn and apply in your life, because soon you will be in a same situation where you also need to face each every single element which is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so try to implement this data into your life, Bhagavad Gita into your life. Okay, when you see anything with your eyes, when you are into any situation, when you to visit any place, so rather than focus on the casual way, be serious and try to see the reality. Okay, for example, when you see a person, people have different faces, like hidden personalities. So if you have a capability to understand the things in detail without being said, you know the reactions, thought pattern, every of these things, how people do. So that you can differentiate between the people. Okay, so the reality, facing, accepting the truth, accepting the reality is very important. It help you in guiding your life further way. Okay, so stay tuned, and I will see you next week with another video of where the topic is you are immortal, and next shlokas will be 2.19 to 2.25, and I will see you soon. Thank you for staying with me, and keep listening, and maybe one day you will learn something good. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.